The cry is a needle of sound, stitching the dark hours of the night together into a single, seamless fabric of pain. It is a sound without reason, a pain without a visible wound. Alaya holds her infant son, Connie, to her chest, her body a rocking, useless shield against the agony that is consuming him from within. His own small body is a furnace, his gums swollen and hard as river stones. He gnaws on his own fists, on her shoulder, on anything a desperate, frantic search for a counter-pressure that never comes. This is a new kind of suffering, one that spears and flint knives cannot fix. In a world of visible monsters and tangible threats, her son is being savaged by a ghost. This private agony, however, is a public threat. The law of the night is simple, sound is meat. And Canis cry is a beacon. In the deep, cold dark beyond the firelight of their rock shelter, the listeners are stirring. They are the Troodon, the wounding teeth, but the clan calls them the night chirpers. They are not large, no taller than a man's hip, but they are things of unnerving intelligence and patience. They hunt not by scent or sight, but by sound, their huge, sensitive eyes adapted to a world of shadows. They do not roar, they communicate in a series of clicks and soft, bird-like chirps that are a terrifying mimicry of the forest's gentle noises. And Canis' constant, high-pitched wail is the clearest sound for miles, a perfect signal to the pack. The clan is a knot of shared tension. They huddle closer to the fire, their faces tight with a mixture of pity and fear. They see Elias' desperation, they feel for the child, but every shriek from the infant sends a fresh wave of cold dread through the cave. Her love has become a liability. Her son's pain is a danger to them all. The hunters grip their spears tighter, their eyes fixed on the entrance of the shelter. A dark mouth that could swallow them all approaches Elia. His face is a mask of weary sympathy, but his words are stones. The chirpers are close, he says, his voice a low rumble. We heard them answering the last cry. You must quiet the child. It is not a request, it is an ultimatum. He does not say the words, but they hang in the smoky air between them, heavy and sharp as a hand axe. A crying baby is a law. If she cannot stop the sound, the clan will have to. The hard choice is not Elias, but it will be her heart that is broken by it. She looks from the elder's hard, sad eyes to the writhing, screaming infant in her arms. This is a problem without a solution, a desperate search for a form of palliative care that has not yet been invented. She has tried everything, rocking him, singing to him, which only adds to the noise, giving him her own finger to chew, but his sharp new teeth only bring her pain. The night is growing deeper. The chirps of the Troodon are closer now, more confident. Alaya knows she is out of time. She must find a way to silence the ghost that is torturing her son, or the clan will be forced to give them both to the monsters in the dark. Desperation becomes a form of intellect. Elias' mind, frantic and sleep-deprived, begins to race, replaying every moment of the last few days, searching for a clue, a pattern. This is the raw, uncodified empirical method, a series of frantic experiments driven by the purest of motivations, a mother's love. She remembers how Connie, for a fleeting moment, had stopped crying when she gave him a strip of semi-frozen mammoth fat to suckle. It was not the taste, but the cold, but the fat softened too quickly, and the screaming returned, louder than before. Her eyes scan the cave, the familiar landscape of their small, temporary world. She sees the tools, the hides, the sleeping fawns of her clan. Her gaze lands on the pile of smooth, grey stones from the nearby river, used for grinding roots and sharpening flint. They are cold to the touch. The river water, even in this season, is fed by melting snow from the high mountains, and the stones retain its deep, penetrating chill. A thought, desperate and strange, sparks in the tinder of her exhausted mind. She finds the perfect one. It is a river stone worn smooth by 1,000 years of current, shaped like a small flattened egg. It fits perfectly in the palm of her hand. She holds it to her own cheek. It is colder than the air, a small, solid piece of the river's deep, numbing peace. This is her act of altruism, a mother's refusal to accept her child's suffering. She is about to offer her infant a rock, an unfood, the piece of the inanimate world, as a form of comfort, a connection that has never been made before. She kneels beside her wailing son. The clan watches, their faces a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. John has moved closer, his hand on his spear. The Troodon chirps now clear and present danger just beyond the firelight. Elia gently takes the cold stone and touches it to his cheek. He flinches from the cold, his cry momentarily interrupted by the shock. Then she guides the smooth, cold surface to his mouth. He resists at first, his head thrashing. But as the stone touches his swollen, burning gums, a change occurs. The screaming stops. It does not trail off, it cuts out, as if a cord has been severed. A deep, shuddering sigh escapes the infant's body. His frantic gnawing softens, becoming a focused, rhythmic pressure on the cold stone. The relief is immediate, a visible wave that washes over his small, tense body. The pressure of the stone on the erupting teeth, combined with the numbing cold, is a perfect balm. It is a moment of profound, quiet discovery. She has diagnosed the invisible enemy, the pressure of the gingival eruption, and she has crafted the perfect medicine. Connie, his small fist son clenching for the first time in days, continues to gnaw on the stone, his eyes slowly closing, noting the first, peaceful stirrings of sleep. Elia looks up at John, tears of relief carving clean paths through the grime on her cheeks. The cave is silent, and in the darkness outside, the chirping of the night chirpers falters, their beacon suddenly, inexplicably extinguished. The silence is a shield. It holds for the rest of the night, a fragile, precious thing that Elia guards fiercely. Every time Connie stirs, a low whimper signaling the return of his pain, she is there, touching the cold stone to his gums, bringing him back from the edge of a cry. She discovers she can make the stone even more effective by leaving it in a small, spring-fed pool at the back of the cave, a natural source of intense, numbing cold. The Troodon linger for a time, their soft, questioning chirps a reminder of the razor's edge upon which their survival rests. But the clear, continuous signal they were following is gone, replaced by a frustrating quiet. By dawn, they have melted back into the forest, their hunt a failure. The next day, Elia's discovery is not just her private relief. It becomes a piece of public knowledge. Another mother, a young woman named Lita, has an older infant who has just begun to show the same signs of fever and distress. Lita approaches Elia, her eyes wide with the same fear that Elia had felt just the night before. There is no jealousy, no secret hoarding. There is only a shared, communal understanding of a mother's pain. Elia does not just give her a stone. She shows her which ones to choose. The smoothest, the ones without sharp edges, the ones that hold the cold the longest. This is cultural transmission in its purest form. A piece of life-saving wisdom passing from one mind to another, a legacy of quiet night. This simple act of tool-assisted soothing becomes a new tradition woven into the fabric of the clan's life. They create a small cache of soothing stones in the cold pool, a communal medicine chest for the clan's youngest members. The elders, who had seen teething as a dangerous but unavoidable trial of life, now see it as a problem with a solution, a pain that can be managed. John, the old hunter, watches Elia with a new respect. He had seen the problem as a threat to be eliminated. She had seen it as a pain to be understood. Her empathy had proven to be a more effective weapon than his spear. This foresight has a profound effect on the clan's security. The nights become quieter, safer. The incessant crying that had so oft unpinpointed their location to nocturnal predators is drastically reduced. The night chirpers, their easiest method of locating prey now denied to them, are forced to seek their meals elsewhere. The clan's rock shelter becomes a less reliable source of food for them. Loving act of a mother trying to soothe her child has reached into their relationship with the predators of the night. It is a subtle shift in the balance of power, a victory won not through violence, but through comfort. Elia, sitting in the firelight, watches her son sleeping peacefully, the smooth, grey stone resting on his chest. She has not just saved him from his own pain, she has, in a small but significant way, made the world a safer place for all of them. This was the birth of medicine. Not the dramatic, life-saving surgery of a gaping wound, but the quiet, profound act of offering comfort for a pain that could not be seen. In the simple, brilliant connection between a cold stone and a child's suffering, Elia had demonstrated the foundational principle of all healing: empathy. She had looked at a problem not as a hunter, but as a caregiver, and in doing so, had forged a new path in the story of human evolution. This was not about the survival of the fittest, but the survival of the most compassionate. The soothing stone was more than a tool. It was a symbol, a testament to the idea that our species' greatest strength is not our ability to inflict pain, but our overwhelming, desperate need to ease it. Every doctor's prescription, every parent's comforting touch, every act of palliative care has its ancient, humble roots in that dark cave, where a mother's love became the first true medicine. The first tool was not a weapon but a comfort. But in the vast open grasslands, comfort was a luxury, and a new kind of human was learning that the best way to survive was to never, ever stop moving.